So, da geht's ja auch schon los mit meinem Stream. Also 15 Uhr hatten wir uns ja verabredet und jetzt merke ich erneut, dass es mit offenem Fenster nicht funktioniert. Oh, sorry. Did I announce this one to be in English? You can vote, please, if you wish to. But I don't know how to install a voting here. Well, actually, as usual, I'm not quite there. Once again, as usual, I didn't manage to get all the things going. Where's my... most likely it's gonna be here. Okay. Anyone here around already? Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Stream manager. Okay. As you see here, apart from my high-tech calendar telling us it's the 5th of July today, we got an ancient clock running as well. It's telling us the time. But I actually still see the picture reversed, or do I? No. But I used to. No idea. So anyway, hello, hardest part stars. We have another English lesson today, right? I got a couple of things for us. But first of all, we have to check our bets. And we have to check them, which doesn't mean, I'm not looking for excuses. If you want so, we go with the quality and we insist that is the proper way of doing it. By I still don't understand, to be honest, because this doesn't look like the updated version. That's funny. That is funny. We wanted... Oh, yeah, that's the one I wanted to see. But, as you may have noticed... Okay, now I'm coming closer. I'm still trying to remember. Glue 230. Hello, whatever that Japanese, what is it? Chinese hieroglyphen they might tell us. So first of all, we have to check our bets. And we have to check them in... What is going wrong here? I had entered these values here already. Are they here? Yeah, they are there. Okay, so this is Uerdingen against Viktoria Köln. We did have the away side. And we expected in the old system 1.48, 1.62. The new system said 1.31, 1.56. And we like this bet. Did we have Silkeborg Lyngby already? Okay, I'm going to do this one first. And as you see here, and if there are any doubts, I mean, why would anyone have to doubt? But in case you would, either I'm gonna hide this or I'm gonna... I mean, we can check it from time to time, right? We check the quality here or there, whether or not Victoria Köln. And here we see the stats, and here we see very, very few green parts and a lot larger blue ones. But shots 6, 13, 2, 4, possession 41%, by the way, 4, 6 corners. There's not a lot to argue. So we did have the right side. And that's the way I'm always gonna do it. We have the old expectancies from the old program or the old system that's still running properly and working quite well. And the new one, which should be, it should not replace the old one, but it's this one is incorruptible, first of all, which is pretty important to notice. Victoria Köln were by far the better side, so we did have an excellent bet that we couldn't win. I mean, our side had been 1 goal better, right? This one, okay, I said I was talking about Silkeborg-Lyngby, first of all. Okay, so we checked this one before. I was expecting them to be 0.2 goals better, or in the new system quite a bit more, 0.48 even. And they played like almost 1 goal better, or 0.85. So we did have the right side, and the right side prevailed. They did win the game. North Zealand, that's one's gonna be today. And we had a good one here. I'm counting the München 1860 Munich. I'm gonna count as a bad one, which it obviously was, because I expected them to be pretty even or even a bit better. They were worse. By the way, there was a red card after 80 minutes. Okay, we lost it anyway. And so it's a bad one. We lost. And in Chemnitz Rostock, which was not a tragedy, you could say, but when it was 4-1, couple of minutes to go, Chemnitz were just 1 goal away from safety, given that Zwickau did not manage to score 1 more goal in Mannheim. But anyway, I expected Rostock even to be slight favorites in both old and new. It was still a bet, and Chemnitz were the much better side, and they won the game. But I was arguing that Rostock need a miracle, while Chemnitz, well, they were close to that miracle they needed, but wasn't to be. Anyway, it was a good bet, but I was arguing in favor of that a win wouldn't help. I don't know what happened now. And anyway, so we had this one we won, the 1860 we lost, here we were even. But we had 2 good ones, one bad one. In Wattens against Admira, I thought, first of all, when I saw the game, it was no good. Then I checked the stats, but actually, because I was watching the women's final, it's not that easy. It's not that easy to keep that, well, all the files. For me, the handling here still. When I was talking to another streamer, and he said to me, you need 2 screens. Well, it was Vloggers Live, by the way. Who's coming by here and there? And who is an admin? Anyway, we had Admira, and the old system said 1.30, 135. The new system was very optimistic about Admira's chances, 117, 178, and it was in fact 122, 140. In the dying minutes, it was really Wattens that made a lot of pressure, and it looked to me as if it was a bad bet. I'm not gonna count it bad one, because of the stats I had in the end. We could check this one as well, which I'm not going to do in that case. We do it from every now and then, okay? And we did have Basel against Xamax. I had been counting it neutral. You can check it here. The result was on our side. Computer said about 1.5 goals better, something like that, and they only played by 1.16 goals better, which is still a pretty decent value, especially in view of the good result, right? If you get the result on your side, then you wouldn't mind too much about the stats in the end. So anyway, it was fine, but I'm counting it neutral, which is only fair, I think. I mean, they were clearly better. They won. We had minus 1.25, by the way, just to remind you. So this is close to 1.25 plus result on their side. So just neutral. Price, by the way, was over 2.03, or you can check it here. So it does make perfect sense to count it neutral. It is just neutral. Okay, now we lost the Zurich against Servette. And if I count this a good one, this was, I mean, this was like Viktoria Köln, right? Or even a bit better. Was it better? No, Viktoria Köln was better. But 146, 173, 145, oh, sorry. That's not the expectancies here. That's the value they played at. But I can always check that if you want me to. Because it can happen that I mistype something here. Where is this window? It's up here. And now I go here. Sorry, hang on a second. Which one was it? I was just checking. Oh, it was the, sorry. Oh, Basel against Xamax. Okay. Zurich against Servette. What do we see this? Or what do we see here? That's home. That's the new system. Okay, that was right. But what they played at, that's what I didn't enter properly. That was these two values. Those are the values, right? FC Zurich against Servette. I mean, you can check it here. I entered that properly. They had 923 shots, 4-4 on target. You can check it on SofaScore. 4-9 corners, crosses. I didn't enter for Switzerland for now. And 40% possession, home side. So it was one-way traffic, more or less, 923. I mean, that's amazing. And what did we have actually? We had an over. We didn't have the away side. Anyway, the over was as good. This is 1.03, so I have to 1.03 overtype these values here. But no, whichever way you look at it, it was an excellent bet, which we went to win. I mean, it's really as important to keep track of these bets like that in the way we do, right? It is, I mean, yeah. For a single one, you could argue this way, this way, but and you would forget about it if you wouldn't keep track of these, right? Then you would say, well, I always have I'm on the right side and I'm losing my bets, or whatever you would say. Here we see it. I mean, I was checking the values once again with you, or you could check it on SofaScore yourself, and we were way above even what I expected, which was a good over already. Right, that's 3.93 goals that were in the game. Now, we did get involved into this Wolfsburg Essen, and I was really excited. We stopped the stream yesterday right at kickoff. And actually, Essen even scored a goal before I switched off. Because it was just 12 seconds into the game, the quickest goal ever in this competition. But of course, when I do those calculations for such a game the way I did, you always can have in mind Well, it is a special game. It is a cup final. So, oh, Wolfsburg. What did I type here? Right, Wolfsburg. If we start to get involved into such games, right, we have to watch out. I mean, I have never done this competition yet. I have no real experience with it. And, well, it is a special game anyway. We all know that. Actually, I do not even get stats, and I didn't get them afterwards. So I've done the very simple thing by also, which was confirmed by me watching it. Maybe you get a different view, or you can tell me if you do. I mean, tell the story of this game. Okay, the story of this game. After 12 seconds, Essen score a goal. I mean, we are talking about a 1.05, right? This is 1.05. We had expectancies of what did I calculate here with you together? Something like 4.03, 0.53, right? Like 3.5 goals between them, and yeah, well. We had the table and everything and the evaluation. It still is a different competition. And you can also say maybe something special about women. I mean, you have to get, not because they are women, but it's just, well, it's some difference in the way they play football, and maybe even, I mean, yeah, kind of approach or things like that. So there may be this difference, but maybe it doesn't make felt. Anyway. They, at the kickoff, Essen score a goal. So, with this goal behind them, they feel, okay, we can do something. I mean, it did happen. Such kind of miracles, which didn't happen in the end. And maybe some of you may, or, well, the world even might be a bit sad about it, because you think, well, if they get this close, then I wish they could win on penalties, right? But that's a different story. If they score a goal this early, then from this moment they feel like, okay, maybe today's our day. They could be a goal down after 15 minutes or so, and then everything goes its way, and it's forgotten. But in this moment, they feel like, okay, maybe it's our day today. And okay, Wolfsburg took a while, which is very common, that took them a while to cope with that, right? To get along. And they did, and okay, they took over, they clearly took over. They even scored the 1-1 after a while, which was, well, deserved. I mean, that's such a useless term, right, to call it deserved. But anyway, they scored this 1-1. Okay. Thank you. I mean, thanks for congratulating. I mean, we installed it actually together, some sense. And okay, so now it's still time. I mean, it wasn't even 20 minutes played, I'm sure. We could check that anyway. But after 1-1, everything could go its way, right? Regular way. Now they know they can score. Now it's 1-1. It's back to square one, right? Now the game is gonna start. And for Essen, it's the same thing, right? They think, okay, they are too good. We conceded a goal. They are too good. Maybe they feel like that. And they were clearly better. There's no doubt. Then, instantly, after 21 minutes, Essen scored another goal from a corner. Okay, it can always happen. Or would you say, well, that was some kind of trick they practice or exercise? It was, well, no idea. I mean, anyway, it can always happen after a corner, maybe a goal. So, but they had some dangerous attacks there. So after this 2-1, I mean, instantly after Wolfsburg scored, it is really starting to become a different game, right? Because, well, we really can do it. I mean, we are into the game now, 20-something minutes, and it's not the 12 seconds goal, which also lifts their confidence and so on. But after 21 minutes, right, well, middle of the first half or something like and they feel like, okay, we're up for something great today. And then, Wolfsburg start to worry a bit. And they tried to get their game together and just play their regular game, but they weren't able to. I mean, I can't say really because I didn't watch their games over the season, but they at least they are struggling a bit. I mean, they feel somehow the pressure. I mean, we're heavy favorites and we're not winning. Of course, they know at any point they can score a goal also, right? But now it's never gonna be an easy task or such an easy game. Of course, it can still be 5-2 or something like that. But well, anyway, and Essen start to feel they can do it. I'm just trying to explain why a 1.05 can, with such a scenario more or less, it can become such a tight affair. And now it never felt like a 1.05, although you could notice between the 0-1 and the 1-1, who is by far the better side. But there's no doubt. But it was never a 1.05. It was, I mean, there was less superiority than in the Bayern-Leverkusen game, although Leverkusen were really good. But we're talking through that in a second. Anyway. Okay, thanks, Andreas. I don't know what's going on. I'm looking forward to maybe we find a few more. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna tell the story of this game for those of you who had not been watching. Maybe who did. Those who did, saw something different or got something to add to that. Anyway. It took them really a while and was never, ever anywhere near 1.05. It was not even a 150, I would say, right? Although you can still say, I know or I can see which is the better side. Essen was so close and also in all their efforts and what they did, I mean, everything was fine in their game. And then still Wolfsburg close to the end managed to score these 2 goals, which were really hard work for them, and nothing was coming with any ease or something like that. So, and they turned it around. Of course, now you feel as if they could, they would win it, and Essen also know, well, okay, we had our chance and it's gone now. But still, they scored this equalizer where I would have to add something about the rules, which maybe I'm rather not going to do now. But they scored the 3-3, and in extra time there was actually not a lot you could see in favor of Wolfsburg. It was an even game. I mean, and penalties went to Wolfsburg. Okay, but that is, of course, it was by no means at all was it a good bet on Wolfsburg. I mean, that was miles away. You couldn't be further away, right? But while the over, of course, I have to count as a good one. Although I said to Soccer Home in our Skype chat, I said it's not an over anymore. Even after although the scoreline was still 1-2. And it was, of course, close. We just needed one more goal to win at least half the bet. We had over 3.5. No, here it's over 3.5. So we needed one more goal to win the bet. But then it wasn't even a good bet. But it just wasn't an over anymore. But of course, with the 3 goals and just 1 goal missing, we still have a value bet, right? Anyway, with the many goals coming then later and so on, and you could still say, well, I do not know women's football so well, so maybe sometimes it's a matter of power too. That in the end they just, although they could play another 30 more minutes, that in the end there could be some more goals. Now we're coming to before we do that, we talk about the Juve Torino, which I was saying it is a special game, and I was also mentioning that that Juve were not the 2-0 team anymore this season. Although my figures said okay, it is very special, and also my idea of Juventus this season is not anymore this 2-0 side. So if we go with the figures here, maybe we could also think twice and also say, well, why bother now about a league that I didn't really include into also in the new system. As you see here, I was taking the same figures because I'm not entering the stats right now. I have done that. I could do it again. I have not done it for this season. Why I could answer this by because just a bit too much work. But I was entering these values. I also checked the values, but a friend of mine was also watching the game. So, 4-1. I mean, it's by no means a good bet. All we could say, we got involved into some bets that I was not really up to. I mean, I'm happy if you ask me questions, or if we go into other leagues, and I would happily do that in the future, that I add more leagues, and I'm in good talks of how to achieve that, but we're not there yet. And maybe we should just forget about these bets. I mean, we also had the over 34.5, which was just a mistake. At least, where was this? Over 34.5 goals. Oh yeah, that's the total goals here, right? And there was I made a mistake there, and we lost this one. I haven't even entered any stats there because, yeah, I could. I mean, but what would help us? I don't know how to evaluate or how to use these data later. Anyway, now we lost this one, and it was a bad one. I mean, we maybe could argue we shouldn't have gotten involved into that one. Now about the Leverkusen Bayern. I mean, I was even on the. Why did I say neutral? That's not neutral. That one was good. And now I'm coming into what I would wish to do. Although I haven't answered a single question. Yeah, I only see the chat on the Twitch. Would I have to open the other one as well? Or what would I have to do? I'm not perfect in handling this, and maybe we could go through and maybe check it out at some point. What I have to do, but I wouldn't. I would prefer now we stick to that regular one. Maybe people in the YouTube chat, maybe they type something in that I don't see. So apologies to them. And I tried to get that fixed one day. I don't know. Or someone tells me right now what I would have to do. If there are more questions to be answered. We were talking about the Leverkusen Bayern. And here, what I wanted to show to you is the calculation here once again. We have done this calculation yesterday by entering all these values and working out the expectancies for this game, which had been 2.32, 1.12, which I couldn't fully turn with my program into match odds, but we derived more or less these values: 153, 540, 613. Which is maybe, if you see here, it's a cup final. I'm not sure. But anyway, it's more about this, superiority. Do you see that? Oh, yeah, sorry. I didn't tune this in, so I've been talking just rubbish. Useless rubbish. Now you can see it. And so we worked out with all these values that I showed you where I have them from. Those are just the averages, and here's the goal average. What was it? The average goals per game, and those are the parameters we needed. Here we have a little formula in this one by multiplying these values out and dividing them and so on. So we got to these two values, which look pretty realistic to me. And I think it wasn't that far away from market, although market saw Bayern a bit stronger. And what I wanted to show to you now, the way, because it refers to the question Andreas had been asking yesterday about the conversion rate. And I was entering these values here more or less by hand this time, right? But those are the offensive, the attacking values that Bayern and Leverkusen produced within the game. And if you saw the game, I mean, it was all Bayern, right? And it looked, well, I mean, that's what I was trying to say when I was sitting on the bicycle and I was thinking about the game, and I thought, well, how would we actually win this? And then I thought, well, Bayern, they are just too strong. I mean, but all the world could see that, and we still have our reason. But still, I had somehow the impression there's something, well, it's not going to work, right? But of course, you can always afterwards, you know more, and you're wiser, and so on. But it was just, I was 10 minutes or so in the halftime of the ladies' final. Then, okay, the game started, and it looked all Bayern, and it looked, well, I don't know if you noticed that or who watched the game or so, but it was all Bayern, so no chance for Leverkusen. It appeared to me, although they kept them out for quite a while, but it looked like, well, it's just a matter of time, and not just the one goal, but more than one goal. And after the 2-0, well, okay, I forget about that. That's written off, right? We forget about this bet. Then, actually, from minute 35, Leverkusen really got a foot into the door. Do you say that in English? I think there's something like that. But they started to, you know, well, it's not over yet, or something like that. So they started to put up some resistance. And from then on, it was very obviously a good bet. But you can say, well, what do you do with a good bet if your team are 2 goals down and you want them, well, they have to catch up 1 at least, right? So it's just it can't be good anymore. And the side that are winning, they also know football, and they know what they got to do, right? I mean, they don't always have to go forward. Although I said before the last match day, actually I said Bayern, if they want to preserve some energy, they have the ball, so they attack rather than defending. But anyway, and Leverkusen also have their strengths, and that's what they showed, maybe in some sense. And so from then on, it was a good bet, and it actually turned into a very good bet, was the impression watching it. And I can also say, well, maybe at some point the stats will confirm that. But I also know that the score line matters, so I can't simply count it a good one. But then if you saw the second half, and actually Leverkusen should have scored a goal maybe before halftime already. But anyway, now in the second half it was an excellent bet. What else could you say, right? And still, when it was 2-0, it was Leverkusen close to 2-1. And after the 3-0, they scored their goal, but it wasn't too late. But they should have had it before, right? And I mean, and after the 3-1, it still wasn't too late. But still, I would have said, and maybe I typed it in somewhere, I said, well, it's more likely Bayern to score the 4-1 than Leverkusen to get the 2-3, although they were really good. But this is a matter of football as well, and also abilities of Bayern. And that's what happened. And okay, the 4-2 makes us somehow relieve and feel a bit better about it. The stats would tell us. But now we are there. I mean, I was more or less commenting on 2 games I've been watching. Of course, 2 pretty important ones, which we could I mean, maybe you can put up with me commenting on them, because they had been big bets, big games somehow. But I also, especially that I want to show you how to do this calculation with the conversion rate. And as I said, Bayern are always better in converting their chances. These values are clearly worse than last season, at the end of the season. Why? Because this time they conceded, so to say, too many goals. They conceded 32. They scored 100, which is very good, but they conceded 32, which is a bit... Okay. Okay, thank you. So they conceded a bit too many goals, although, of course, towards the end of the season it was all Bayern. But anyway, that's the values they ended the season with, and it's always going to be positive value. And I'm going to carry this value forward, which I'm not going to do for other teams in the Bundesliga, or maybe for Dortmund, or maybe for Leipzig. I have to check that, or sometimes I'm gonna, they are like this, and I'm gonna adjust it a bit to there. But it always would mean they have a better chance of converting one of the offensive values I'm counting for them. Whether it is a corner, or it is a shot, or it is a cross, whatever it is, they have a better chance to score a goal from that. Because, for two reasons, they have the better strikers, and secondly, they wait for the best opportunity to take their shots, which others would not do. So that's why Bayern have a very pretty positive conversion rate. So they have a better potential to score from these 45.1 than Leverkusen have from their 32.9. But those are the values they ended the season with. So Leverkusen also had been a bit positive in the end. I mean, there wasn't a terrible season for them. And the average conversion rate is 4.17. So you see that also they didn't defend so well, because this value is still above the average. If the defensive value, you want to discuss that, or you understand it, try to understand it a bit better, it means if Bayern have better defenders, that wouldn't count so much, because I only count the moment when it comes to a shot, or when it comes to a corner, or when it comes to a cross. This is what better defenders would try to stop, right? They stop them from shooting, from getting into this area. So it's going to be a matter of how many chances they concede, but not how many goals they concede from these chances. So that's a matter of the better defenders would just stop the attackers from getting offensive values at all. But so if the conversion rate is better, it would be purely, but there's one other point, it would actually be purely a matter of goalkeeper, which is also maybe better because it's Neuer. Because he stops the shots better, or the crosses, or the corners, or whatever he's got to do there. So he stops the crosses better. So the defensive is still better than average, right? Although it doesn't matter that much in the defensive area, because, well, it's a matter of how many they concede and not how well the other teams take their chances. And now there's the second point about the defensive conversion rate, how you stop the opponent from scoring goals from their chances. It is that the opponent would take their shots or whatever they get from worse positions, kind of like that, right? Because if you say, okay, I got Boateng to get by, I'm never gonna get by him, so I'm gonna shoot now instead of trying to get by. This is just more or less exaggerating, of course, but that's what he does. So he shoots and no chance to score a goal from that. So we got a couple of values that justify that Bayern defensively are better than average, which does not mean it doesn't count at all how many chances there had been. So if it's 50% of what other teams concede in chances, it's nothing to do with this conversion rate value, right? Anyway, Leverkusen are in both values more than average, which means they got the better strikers, take their chances better, but the defensive is not so great. And if you see it's like this, you could also say, well, that could also be a matter of, well, just coincidence, right? Because it's not a big difference. Anyway, if we rely on these values that we had end of the season, then we would come to these 5.09, 4.18. By the same calculation we are doing for all the parameters we have. Because we multiply their good value, so that's their pro conversion rate, and multiply it with the other one's opponent and divide it by the average. That's the thing we've done as well for the goals to score, but we do that for every parameter. So we multiply this with this and divide it by this. And so we see for this game, for this special game, Bayern have a conversion rate of 5.09, which makes a lot of sense, because they would have against the average team, the average defensive team, they would have 5.05. As Leverkusen are not so good, so to say, defensively, they get a bit better than that, right? They have like 5.09. So this is what more or less the quotient of these two that you multiply this by. And the 4.18 are the same story, right? They are better defensively. They are here. It's somewhere very close to average. So it comes out 4.18. That's how many they concede. Now I've written this in German. Of course, for all of you German viewers, you can read that. But what I do now is multiply the offensive values of either team with the conversion rate for this game. Because I worked it, well, this is just the perfect calculation. That's what I have to do. And what comes out is just a miracle to me, because I didn't intend this or anything. I've just done this calculation to show you. And in the end, I get 2.29, 1.37. And this exactly, more or less, it matches with the impression that you have, because you would say, well, I saw these first stages of the game and it was all Bayern and they were so superior that it's, well, they were just one goal better already in this short time. All the other part, the last 60 minutes of the game, were absolutely even. So Bayern deserved their one goal better, which is about what they were, and transported this one goal over the finishing line, right? More or less in the sense of how many... Well, they transported the win home anyway, and we lost our bet. But now you can compare it with what we calculated before, or you remember that. So we are so close to what we expected, more or less, right, with these values, which we have not even based on the stats, because I had not been calculating pre-game the stats, but just the goal expectancy. So we are still desperately close. Of course, I take old and new the same, because I didn't do a different calculation, just one calculation. And this is what they played. And if you recapture or recap the whole game, then you would say, well, in fact, with these 60 minutes, Leverkusen being so good, I would say, well, actually they were a bit better than I expected. This I would fully accept. So we couldn't be any better with this bet, right? We still lost it. But you have to say in this, well, I mean, there were so many chances, and well, it was just fine. Which was a surprise to me, of course, after the opening stage. Anyway, we lost it, but I put it to the good ones, because I said from the impression, because I haven't done the calculation first, and I said maybe counted neutral. But after I've done the calculation as exactly as I could, I have to say, well, it was a good one, and it also goes well with the impression I had. So now we are through the games, and that's actually what I was trying to do with you, largely. And if Soccer Home, hi. So if you start the conversation, I'm of course also happy, because it tells me you don't mind at all. But you can't blame me either for, once showing this calculation. And I'm pretty, proud. Yeah, I'm proud in some sense. Of course, first of all, to have these algorithms, to be able to show you, and that it goes so well with what you see, what we've calculated. And but losing a bet is never such a good thing. But if you know in the end, well, it happens. It just happens, right? And I think we've included everything we could know. So what are we going to do now? Tell me. What was it that... who suggested what? Where's your chat going? I'm waiting for input. I mean, we did have a look at the games. I guess Austrian games are going to start today again at... you know when. At 1700 military time. Where's my... Okay. Here we go. I can't seem to be able to move that. Okay. Now I can. Okay, yeah, at 5, yeah, as I said. Okay, Nordjylland, Midtjylland, 89th minute. Yeah, I was trying to show that result service here by switching the date to the 5th. Of course, I mean, you talked me into the Juventus. Who was it? Okay, Heidenheim versus Werder. 1-0, 3+ minutes to go. Yeah, okay. We have Newcastle, Burnley, Sheffield. At 5:30 we get Liverpool, Aston Villa, which is a game we shouldn't even look at. We can have a look at we got the Serie A, as I said already. I'm not that comfortable with the league. Heidenheim versus Werder. Yeah, okay. What are the prices? Swansea beat Sheffield Wednesday. Middlesbrough, not in great shape. And here we got, but we didn't have Midtjylland, did we? No, we did. We just have the under. But of course, I mean, we never looked at the at the totals, right? So this one we don't want to see anymore. This one we don't need to see anymore. Instead, we want to see this one, right? And okay. And okay, so we went down to plus 0.2 units, which is not a plus, as I said yesterday. Okay, Heidenheim plus 0. Plus half a goal. Heidenheim plus half a goal. Well, the thing is, what I could do is actually compare the leagues first of all. Yeah, this is pretty. I mean, the prices on the Heidenheim Werder Bremen are just silly once again, aren't they? North Zealand 0-2 full time. Well, which is full time? Real Madrid? Which one is 0-2 full time? Can't see that. That's Werder Bremen. Okay, sorry. That was Al-Ravanelli. Okay, so I could do some more calculation here. So we actually needed this window again. Where am I gonna put it? I mean, we were checking this. We still got a, well, it's not a plus, but it's still a green figure here. It's meaningless. We went through the games. That's one more important thing. We have to look at this, right? At these stats. They are really important. Those are the good bets, right? 28-11, that's 39 good bets compared to 23 bad ones. And we are not winning, okay, it's just even. But we did have 28-11 here and 5-18 here. That sounds a bit, well, okay, so we did have bad prices on average, right? Neutral ones are just neutral, okay, meaningless. But we did have 39 against 23, which is a very good average, right? If you divide 39 by, I could also do the sums here, but right, we see we got 62% good bets, 63 almost, which is better than I mean the average that I have is 59% good bets, and still it's enough to win like 54. I mean, starting from 52 you start to win at the Asian market, and 53, 54 or more or less, I mean that's Bundesliga, the results. So you are not fully converting this good bad, which, well, yeah, you may think about it and may still say, well, improve your calculations. It's not a matter of bad luck, right? It is, I mean, it's a bit difficult to argue. There is no St. Pölten. Maybe, no, we don't have a single one open, right? We just have the North Zealand, and that one, hopefully, I mean, it's still 90 plus. Would we expect 2 more goals? Okay, first of all, we are through with the stats. I was talking about the games, we were analyzing them, we were looking at the quality of our bets. The North Zealand, we could maybe in a minute consider Midtjylland player down. Okay, no idea. But yeah, I'm not speculating about that one to be a winner. We don't know yet, but we will enter this later. We are doing okay, especially with the quality. So we shouldn't worry at all. The bets we worked out so far had been good. If we are not winning, well, okay, you can still argue, or you say, I give up with this guy, he's not good enough. Lose, I will manage on my own, right? Lose money, I will manage on my own. Yeah, Luzern, yeah, but we have this bet, right? It's here. So, I mean, you can tell me the price. Maybe it's growing. I don't know. But what we wanted to do is maybe do a calculation on the DFB, on the German Cup game, right? And I can present you a calculation. The matter is, the question would be how exact it is. Because I'm not doing this comparison anymore, really, recently. But I can enter the values of, so we're gonna, Germany, Bundesliga 1. I mean, if you're interested in that, are you? 1.71, 1.05. So this is the strength of the league. And Bundesliga 2. But we will get somewhat silly results, right? 1.26, 1.37. I looked this up, right? I could show you, but I don't think it matters that much. And it's also, well, let's call it ancient values. I haven't done cup in a couple of years, so you can say, well, do that first. Otherwise, we don't wish to know. But, and now we got Werder, let's say just in a quotient to the league, and Heidenheim, okay? And Werder had been just awful, but maybe I can show you, because we had this open. The Twitch bets, I'm gonna switch off now, and we did have a ranking, a German ranking. Okay, but I needed to open the Germany 2 as well, so I'm gonna do another okay, yeah, I can't show that yet. Oh, it takes a few minutes. Oh, a few seconds, let's rather say. But I'm getting nervous if things are not running. Okay, so you can study this ranking maybe in the meantime. I mean, at least we could look up where Werder are. In fact, we can. So this is the stored ranking, right? And Werder are 0.67 to the league. So if I enter this value here, then we would see how good they are, actually. Now we're gonna check Heidenheim. And that's what I was just about to do. But I have to open the file first of all. Actually, I'm not pretty active with the chat, right? Are you just listening or fallen asleep again? But actually, I should. Well, if I do, I should just enter the competition, right? And then well, I would have figures ready, right? But maybe it's in some sense it's also interesting for you to follow that. But is it first of all interesting ranking based on pure stats? It's not what you need. This is the ranking. Okay, you don't see it yet, I know. But where is my D2 ranking? And now I can enter it, open it, and show it to you. So this is Germany 2, the ranking. And we can just, I mean, and we can just look up Heidenheim, right? And Heidenheim, that's all what I needed. That's 1.13. So if we want to EXP Werder, should I say so? And against EXP, so to say, how good are Werder? And the same thing here. Then we would most likely even see already that Heidenheim are the better side. Why would I have to do that? Put it here, right? So that would be Werder times that. No, I have to do it once, right, Christian? I have to do it once, just once. I mean, more or less would I have a quotient here, which is this divided by this. So this is 1 point, yeah, well, as you can see, 1.63. And Werder are, yeah, where can I put all this? Werder are this times this of the league, so to say, right? This format here, that's so annoying. And it means they are still like, okay, we do it like that. This plus this divided by 2 times this. Okay, well, maybe I'm doing a bit too much here, right? And against would be, yeah, I didn't even, yeah, I hate this format here, but against would be this. It would be, what would it be? What did I do here? This plus this divided by 2. What did I do here? Times this. So they are still better than average. And here they are worse than average. So I have to say, I can't do that right now. This plus this divided by 2. I actually forgot what I'm doing here. Yeah, this is how good they are. And this is how good they are. 151, 126. So yeah, they are still better than Heidenheim maybe. I mean, but it would be just marginal. Because Heidenheim are 1.13 times this average here. So they are this plus this divided by 2 times this, because they are better than average. I mean, that's not because they are better than average, that's the way that I've done the calculation up there as well. This plus this divided by this. Yeah, but leave me alone, it's always the same rubbish here. This plus this. Divided by 2. Did I forget that? This plus this divided by 2 divided by this, right? Okay, well, now as I said, maybe that would make Heidenheim already the better side, which does make some sense, actually, to me. I mean, they are very close, almost the same, but it simply makes sense to me. Because there's not this much between Bundesliga 1 and Bundesliga 2, and there's also, well, Werder just had a terrible season, right? But this is at least what the computer would more or less think about the teams right now, whereby I have to say, well, we should rather consider it in quotients, right? And not in totals, because they are based, well, that's old averages and things like that, right? Because you see here the Bundesliga, that would be just 2.76, and that would be just 2.63, and this season we did have some more goals. But more or less what the computer would say, Heidenheim, even on neutral ground, were very slight favorites. At least we could say that. But we have to keep in mind that it's still an old version of the comparison between Bundesliga 1 and 2. At least I can say that. And yeah, well, I couldn't show you the, but I said that already beforehand, that I can't really say that. That I can't. It's not fully reliable, and it's not. Of course, if we would do the calculation now based on these values, we would first of all get Heidenheim favorites, and secondly we would. Oh, you couldn't see that? Oh. Yeah. Okay. I'm really silly, and I have to apologize because I've done a lot of calculation now, and you couldn't see it at all. I understand that. That's still in the German Cup final, and we should hide the ranking again. Yeah, that's. And we should also hide the Germany 1 ranking. Well, here, okay, I've done all the calculation. Here you still see the values. The Bundesliga 1 are the better league by this much, more or less. These, okay, I didn't even enter the quotient here. Okay, so there's still an error in this calculation. Sorry. I mean, okay, so we got. I mean, now we could at least say what on neutral ground the difference would be between the teams. Okay, so I still made a small mistake now. I mean, just to consider it in terms of quotients, right? This is Werder's quotient in Bundesliga 1. So if we take this one away from them, they are still 1.09. That's actually the value that we see up there, right? And if we take, that's Werder, that's the quotient of their strengths. And here we got Heidenheim, which is, so anyway, as I was still making a mistake, that would be this times this, which still would be, well, okay, at least we got Werder are the slightly better side. Okay, I'm a bit relieved because I made a little mistake here in the calculation because I forgot to refer to this value. So this is what this would have been reduced by, and so on. Just, we can say, with the old values I had, we have Werder as, so to say, an international side of the strength of 1.09, whatever that means. But they are better than the average international side I have here. But there are Cyprus and Albania and Estonia and so on. But that's how good Heidenheim are. Still based on old values. At least you could witness it now. We got the Bundesliga 1 rating. The ratio or the strength of the Bundesliga 1 and the Bundesliga 2. And if you take Heidenheim in comparison to Bundesliga 2, so they are better than this, which means they are this. And if you take Werder, this value, 0.67, in comparison to the league, they got 1.09. So simply multiply these. So we got the slightly better side. But this result makes perfect sense. But I couldn't say the goals now because those are ancient values, a couple of years ago. What we should do now, well, we would have to go with them onto the higher level and so on, which all gets a bit difficult. But still, and we could say, in some sense, it's not a home game. Would we? I mean, it's not a home game. So we would simply have Werder are very slight favorites. That's at least what I could say. And I'm very sorry for that. Once again, okay, we wait. Okay, we have a bet, yeah. Under 3 point. Average against second. What is what happened in the chat now? I mean, maybe I'm in a bad shape today, and you rather forget about that. Heidenheim averaged against second league. What is this? Yeah, it's drifting. Okay. Okay, sorry. Yeah, well, okay. I mean, I didn't like this Luzern bet, to be honest, and we discussed it for a moment, and I said, well, figures are happy with it, but I do not really like it, and it's drifting. Okay, but whatever drifting would say. But we take Heidenheim, yeah. Okay, we have to. I mean, we have to. I mean, at home, forget it. But it would be a bet anyway, right? And having in mind what the first leg told us. Okay, we have a bet. Yeah. Okay, at least we found this bet, which was pretty obvious. I made some silly calculations that he couldn't even see, and in the end we don't even get goal expectancies from that, but maybe you have an impression how difficult it would be in the end to compare to teams that compete in different leagues. What would you do? I mean, what would you do? If I would, if I would rate them all, well, so to say, in a worldwide ranking, right? Then you would have leagues. Then you would have, okay, Broadtron 14. Thanks for your follows. Thanks for the beautiful goal, beautiful Totti goal. And I should put on my shirt again, my Totti shirt. What did I just say? What have I just been saying? How difficult. If we would have them on an absolute basis to make them comparable, first of all, it's always a problem with the goal average, because I couldn't say when a Chinese team play a Chilean team or whatever that is. Then I couldn't say what goal average should I take, right? It's the worldwide goal average. But why? In Chile it's maybe 3.1, and China it's 2.7. What is the goal average, right? So we would get into a complete mess. My model is working perfectly well for league football. Compare the leagues makes it difficult. I found solutions for that, but I'm not keeping that track of that at the moment. Okay, what did we want to check I mean, we checked the Austrian league. At least I can say now that obviously we won the Midtjylland bet, right? That's a 1-0. So we did win it. We did win this one, and we're of course pretty happy with that. I mean, I could enter that right away, although I cannot see the stats yet. We could click on it here, and I have to go back to that. So if you check if you can see that, and the stats. Oh, it doesn't look so good, to be honest. I mean, first of all, I may have had Midtjylland beforehand. I have to check that. But 11-11. I can show you this as well, of course, but it does take its time. I'm gonna remove this one, right? Do I? Okay, instead we enter the Betmaster window here, which is not available right now. Okay. In some sense it is there. But I know already that if I open a new window, what did I want to show now? What did we? Okay. Do we see that? Most likely we don't. No? Yes we do, because that's the main window. I mean, I can show you here what I expected from this game, so we can have a rough guess already. I expected them to have 9.3, can you read that? 9.3, 14.96. And in fact it was 11-11. So that's 22 shots compared to the 24 I expected. So we're happy with that. Shots on goal are 2-1. I expected 2.27, 4.85. So that's a good one. So we are an under here as well. 5-2 corners, I expected 3.59, 5.36. I still didn't make this mouse pointer visible, but I can tell you 3.59, 5.36. You may be able to read that under the corners. And so that's 7. I expected even to be 9, close to 9. So that's fine. Possession was clearly in North Zealand, but that has no impact here. And we could also look at the crosses, which I didn't predict in this league because I didn't have this site yet. And 18-17 may sound like average maybe. Anyway, we will have a good bet, that's for sure. So it was good enough. I mean, and I was telling you the thing with the Danish football now with Midtjylland on the road. And now we can go back here and enter this result. Although I don't know the exact expectancies yet. I have to admit it's not going so well today. I mean, now we have a 0-1. Result. That we could as well do tomorrow, right? And we have a good bet and we have another winner, or another, well, one at least. But it's little facelift. Why is it not updating this here? Christian, what's going on? What's going wrong? What's going wrong? No, now it's 1.1. Okay. We have the good bet in. Okay, I mean, if it's just Eura Vanelli taking part in the chat, that's not what I was hoping for. So you have to talk over him. I mean, we looked at the Austrian games. There was not a single one that I was excited about. I just said Rapid. Okay, you can tell me again Rapid. Lask over was just crap. It went down significantly. Yeah, yesterday we had 3 goals in Austria in the playdown. 3 goals and all of them for the home side. What is the line on Rapid? Just give me the line. I wrote down plus 0.25, 174. What? Plus 0.75? Rapid? Dropping? What's that? Plus 0.75? I can't believe that. I was just checking the chat quickly. I mean, okay, WRC need a win, right? We looked at the table already, but this is just rubbish. I don't want to bet that. I don't want to bet that. 2-0 Luzern. Why is no one talking about this? 2-0. No one mentioned that. You aren't watching. I mean, because hardest part stars said it was going up. Al Ravanelli, last warning. Really, it's the last warning. You're messing up the chat, okay? Can you understand that? Just shut up, listen, or make a comment as all the others do every now and then. Selected ones. I mean, in Switzerland, okay, we had Luzern, FCZ the over was a very good one. Basel we won, FCZ the over, and Luzerner 2-0. I mean, I don't know, it's far from over. And Rapid, I mean, what was the development in Rapid? We can check the table once again, right? But we actually know what it's about. Rapid are there, no doubt about that. No changes possible, and WAC need a win. I mean, because third place is better than fourth. But LASK are playing Salzburg. So it's even better for WAC, right? Because Salzburg won't slow down now, right? Why would Salzburg now? I mean, they don't stop. They want all the records they can get, right? It's 107 goals. That's unleveled in Europe even, I think. Unequaled, maybe. No. I mean, so it's a very good chance, and a draw doesn't help. So WAC need a win. What would Rapid care for that? I mean, it's a matter of lineups or things like that, right? Who's going to play? But I don't think it just makes sense to look at these games. It's Austria, it's different, that's right. To be honest, I'm lost for words right now. Maybe you should just stop. Oh, okay, sorry. Oh, okay, I didn't mean that to happen. Did I stop the stream? I'm not in good shape, obviously. What do you think? What do you think? No, it's just one guy that's driving the chat here. I mean, okay, Austria won. I mean, not that I'm doing that for this purpose right now, but no, I don't want to do that. I don't know, really. Give me a subject. Tell me something. I don't want to. It's just I can't talk anymore. I mean, he's just not stopping here. Okay. I have to eliminate, you know. I can't do any more with that, right? Sorry. Maybe it's getting better now. And I'm not getting rid of this even here. I mean, when do they play? Tomorrow? I banned Aravanelli now. I'm sorry. I couldn't. I mean, no one says a word anymore, and I can't even concentrate anymore. I don't know what I'm saying. I always have to read that rubbish. I can't do that. He's the expert. He won the Rapid against Las, and that's why. I mean, people... Okay. Anyway, it's what happened. On Tuesday. Yeah, on Tuesday. I mean, why would we do that? Especially as I proved already that I can't do the calculation properly at the moment. Plus opens... We're not going to do that. We could do the English League maybe. We could have a look. Why not? And who's playing here? Give me the odds, because at least in England, Liverpool, Aston Villa, well, that's just rubbish. Southampton, Manchester, no, we can't do that. Espanyol, they are starting in a few minutes. Espanyol, I mean, I can tell you the story from Espanyol. A computer will surely say once again against Espanyol, and market always says. No, I'm not so sure. Tell me the prices on. Oh, I can do that as well here. Spain. La Liga. Italy. Yeah, who's playing? Okay, I can. Yeah, because we were so good in Italy, right? Yesterday. No, Espanyol, it's not even indicated, I think, Leganes. I can check that in my other file here, hang on a second, but now I feel very relieved because it's the first one I banned. Well, I couldn't do anymore, but I said enough warnings, didn't I? Yeah, it's very, very... well, it's just indicated, let's put it like that. Marginally indicated. It is 197 and the true price is 190. And we can look at the history. Do you see, well, what do you see? You don't see anything, right? But I can tell you maybe. It's getting a bit too much. I mean, Espanyol are just in a mess. They had these few games when they started kind of a small comeback from bottom spot. They are 24 points, right? It's almost hopeless. And Leganes, sorry, yeah, that's Leganes. Yeah, well, as awful. Almost as awful. It's not a game we look at, right? I mean, we don't want Leganes. Okay, simple as that. I don't know why I'm not getting rid of this. Sorry, I'm a bit confused because I see in my window here I still see Ravanelli, although it told me it's all. Okay, 7 games in Italy. Okay, Espanyol dropping again. Okay, let's have a quick look at the Spanish games. Osasuna against Getafe. Not playing for a lot, are they? Getafe maybe with a decent chance to get into the European places. Five games to go there. Osasuna, 44 points. No trouble, actually. Yeah, that's yeah, it's not interesting, this game as well. I can check this one. 0.25, and it's nothing indicated. It's very good news because market has exactly my figures. I could have made them. And Espanol dropping. Yeah, as I said, usually computers says against Espanol. And it was pretty successful with that, you can imagine. Because such a record, I mean, who had such a record? Awful record. What is the record? 5-9-19. 5-9-19. 5 wins, 9 draws, 19 losses. But still, Leganes, we forget about that one. There's nothing indicated. Villarreal against Barcelona. It may be a chance. Well, it would like in some sense Villarreal. Would you like that one as well? I mean, they're playing a very good season actually at the moment. Or at the moment, I mean, if it's a good season. But at the moment, they have 5 wins in last 6 with 1 draw against Sevilla, which are also a top side. So 5 wins, 1 draw, very good shape. While Barcelona, well, 3 draws in their last 4 games and just a 1-0 win over Bilbao. Drawing in Celta Vigo, draw against Atletico, draw in Sevilla. Okay, not such an easy, task maybe. Such an easy program schedule. But still, shape is not great. And actually, Villarreal are winning all their games 2-0. So 1-0, 1-0, 2-0, 2-0. And before that, the 2-2 against Sevilla, they conceded 2. But it's the same result. No, Sevilla-Barcelona was a 0-0. And Villarreal against Sevilla was a 2-2. I mean, it would be indicated 1.93. Well, I can see that here. It's going down, or it did go down now. I mean, we could take Villarreal. Very good shape, no goals conceded, top side. But of course, Barcelona, well, title always, well, it's what they are playing for. But maybe Real are this time, but well, who knows? It's still a couple of games to go. But yeah, would they drop these many points? 1 loss, 1 draw maybe. Or are they still playing, these two? I don't know. But I would propose Villarreal. And we're gonna look at the Italian games. I mean, just to show you, okay, first of all, I could do that. I would love to improve that with the entering the stats, and at best would be to do that automatically, because if I do that manually, it's a lot of work. And if I could do that, then it would be very easy to just have the 2 systems, because I would love to have that comparison. The old system is working okay, but we have to watch out a bit, right? Okay, Levante against Real. Do we have that game? Oh, that's tomorrow. Okay. So we go with Villarreal, okay? Give me the price here, Soccer Home. Yeah, we try. I mean, yeah, okay. I got 1.94 here at the moment. We all know how dangerous it is. And Italy, okay, we can have a look at Italy as well, because now, now I'm warming up, so to say. But hardest part, Stars likes it, right? Such a good game yesterday, 4-1. Serie A. Well, maybe instead of that one, I could, of course, show you my file with the, so you could compare it. Oh, we didn't look at the over-under? Did you want to do that? Well, we can start with Italy, right? I could show you this at least here. Okay. It's maybe a bit small. As usual, I can make this one bigger. I mean, yeah, as soon as we start, right, we could do many such things. But if you want to, we can happily do that. But I have to say, with it, with all those leaks, I'm not so, just simply not that comfortable, right? Okay, the first one starts at 1715. What is the line here? Computer says 1.25. Enter 1.25, you see that? Do I have to split the screen again? Oh, now it's messing it up again. Oh. No, I don't want that. Okay. I try once again. Yeah, I can see the prices here. We can see them actually. Or is it too small? Yeah, maybe. It's too small. But certainly one thing we can look here. 221, 182. So computer would suggest Bologna. Actually, well, what can I say about this leak? But Inter lost a lot of space recently. I mean, they were even top, right? A few weeks or months or match days ago. They were top, but they are not anymore. And last one they won 6-0 over Brescia, 2-1 in Parma, 3-3 Sassuolo, 2-1 Sampdoria, 0-2 in Juve, 1-2 at Lazio. And Bologna are actually, well, good season, well rated, 10, 8, 11, draw, win, Cagliari draw, before that win at Sampdoria, 0-2 Juve, they all lose 0-2, 0-2 Lazio, so tough opponents, tough games. Yeah, are they doing okay? Plus 1.25. This is going down as well, right? 2.03. Well, computer would say, as you see here, 1.82, and we get 2.03. But do we like that? What do you say? Inter at home 9-5-1, but Bologna are strong away 6-2-6, so pretty good record on the road. Inter beat Brescia 6-0 last time out, so that means Brescia are bottom, are they? Brescia are out of competition, more or less. 18 points. No sense. It doesn't mean that much. Well, I still can't get that. I know you're running away. Maybe, yeah. We should just stop. I don't know. No one's saying. Yeah, we could do Bologna, right? We could do it. I mean, it's plus 1.25. I was showing you everything. It's my figures. We could enter it. Villarreal, Bologna. I mean, we're still playing against the big ones, right? Cagliari. Computer would definitely say Cagliari. But who wants Cagliari? And who wants to go against Atalanta? But that's why we get this price. 1.25, what is the line? It's 167. We get 2.07. It's always the same story, right? But market always said Cagliari are no good. And still they are winning their games. They drew 1-1 at Bologna, as we saw already. Before that they beat Torino. They won at Spa Ferrara. Before that they lost 4 times. But recent shape is good. But Atalanta, of course, they beat everyone, right? You saw that. Bologna, yeah, drifting. But wouldn't you say dropping and rising, or what is drifting? Going up. I don't know. I'm not getting there today. And actually, I'm a bit worried about the bets themselves. I mean, Villarreal, Bologna, who wants these sides, and who wants Cagliari against Atalanta? But computer figures would justify that. Yeah, rising, okay. Yeah, we don't want that. We don't want the rising prices. What I would like to do is actually just stop the screen, the stream. Randers, what do we have to do with Höbro Randers? Nothing, right? Oh, Höbro, I've suggested somewhere. But they are losing. Or was it? I don't even know. Luzern still 2-1, St. Gallen 2-0, St. Gallen 2-1. What did I write down there? Nothing. Why didn't I? Young Boys was just a pass. But still, we are happy with this one. We're happy with the Midtjylland. I don't know. I'm out of shape today. Maybe you should apologize. I don't know. I don't want these. And actually, you notice that I'm not in the shape today. Maybe also because I banned Ravanelli. Tell me something. No one says anything. I mean, we should just stop that, right? I'm gonna stop my stream now. Out of shape. Tomorrow we have a German. Are we gonna have one tomorrow? Maybe I scheduled one. Really, these games, I don't know. And what I should do is actually, I would happily do those leagues, right? Italian, Spanish, Premier League. Actually, I could do, but not with these games. Liverpool, Man City, they are just silly. And but I should upgrade enter the data again for the stats again, because then I feel comfortable. I know we can do it. I mean, if we take Villarreal, yeah, we just got these 2 bets. And I don't even know Villarreal, right? I would prefer to have the stats entered and to get that running properly. And I have to get on with the discussion about that, how to do that, because I can't do all that work, because it's just every day and all the time. And I would like to do some progress if we have a stream every day, and more or less every day, right? And we're not even having German football, except these few playoffs and the last match day, which is not a lot of fun anyway. But we got through that one without being too successful. But we should just well, if the Bundesliga and if just the regular football would start again, we would have a lot of fun, a lot of good things to discover here, and especially if I had all the stats for the leagues. As Andreas, for example, proposed to take the J League in, it makes a lot of sense. I need a few data. I don't need that much. It's not taking that much work. But well, I could enter that and from the start. But okay, if these leagues, it's like the Swedish, Norwegian, Finnish leagues they are playing over the year and so on. I used to have them. I took them out of my program because somewhat too much work. But if we get a good business running here, it's fine. I could do a lot. But as I said, I would like to have those data somehow automatically provided and then read in and so on and processed. Then it would be a lot of fun. Here I'm showing you first of all maybe the algorithms and the way I'm more or less I'm working and thinking and the things I'm doing. Maybe we find some good bets. Of course, that's very needed, very much needed for to prove the whole model is working somehow. But as I said, if we still see we got the good bets, we can't worry even if we went down a bit or I mean at the moment we are doing okay, but of course we can get into different stages. It could happen, but it doesn't mean necessarily that it's gonna be minus overall. But if you see, it could go up properly. Maybe I was showing. Did I show you that, or should I show you that? Do I have that here? Because that might show you the way it's going in general. Where was that? You may have seen that already, but I will happily show that again. Takes another second. It takes another second. Mm-hmm. And get this one in. And well, okay. You know, you should at some point be able to see this development. Okay, now we see that. Maybe here. And you see that, it's going up and down. And sometimes it goes down for quite a while, then it may recover, you may recover, you're going down again. That's just the swings we are going through. But if you're, at some point, at the peak here, you wouldn't be worried too much that you're going down into the losing zone, right? But still, if it's going crashing down like that, then you still think, well, why not? We lost half of what we had won. Why not lose the other half? But still, it stopped there at some point, right? Those are all the bets from Bundesliga 1 and 2 that I had been showing in my YouTube. You find on my channel, and you could trace that back. At least that's some kind of swings we we would always have to expect, right? It's going up and down. Now we are just having how many bets? How many bets do we have so far? And where do we see that? It's still the Asian handicap lines and things. I don't know, but I can tell you at least where we are at the moment, which is, and then I'm gonna leave here. We are having 72 bets or something like that. 71 or 72? 72 bets, plus the 2 from today. And Luzern is still running, but we're 2-0 at the moment. We don't know. Anyway, thanks a lot. I have many different ways we can show kindness to others, and it doesn't have to be in a big way. The simplest of things may make the difference. I wish you have a wonderful day filled with happiness, joy, and positive. Who's saying that? Can't even read the name. Then Crypto. I knew to that. The encryptor? What would that mean? Anyway, thanks a lot. I hope I will be doing better tomorrow. Or yeah, do we meet tomorrow? I have to, well, maybe 1 hour. Or you could change the schedule because I feel not so comfortable after the stream today. I have to apologize. Maybe because I banned Ravanelli, which I didn't mean to, but too many warnings, and it just doesn't make me feel good. That's why. Positive. Yeah, stay positive. Thanks a lot, guys. I'm just it happens to all of us. Thank you. Bye bye. Next time better.